one of the largest dens in Karachi on Friday. The attack took place in the Liari neighborhood, where a number of warring drug and armed gangs operate. It came amid a surge in targeted political and ethnic killings in Karachi, in which hundreds have died in the recent months.
Karachi is riddled with fresh wounds. Violent deaths are common in this part of the country, yet the scale in which violence has erupted this week has frightened the nation. At least 20 people have been killed in a bombing in one of the largest gambling dens in Karachi on Thursday. The attack took place in the Liari neighborhood, where a number of warring drug and arms gangs operate. Police suspect the largest attack was carried out by Islamist militants. The Taliban have attacked a number of targets in Karachi, but this would be the first on an illegal gambling club. It came amid a surge in targeted political and ethnic killings in Karachi, in which hundreds have died in recent months. At least 140 people have lost their lives over the past fortnight. The victims include activists of various political parties. What is more worrisome is that the city is witnessing new cycles of violence reflective of reluctance on the part of the coalition partners, the MQM, the ANP and the PPP, to accept and adapt themselves to changes that are quietly taking place and are bound to change the political landscape of this region. This explains why the understanding reached between MQM and PPP earlier this month has failed to prevent targeted killings in Karachi. People are yet to see a 4-member committee comprising 2 members each of the Muttahida and the People's Party, and formed at the behest of President Zardari after days of reconciliatory talks, take any concrete measures in this regard. Analysts say this has allowed murder with impunity. The implications of the government's failure to stop the bloodshed have already started showing. Large neighborhoods are beginning to turn into ethnic ghettos as common citizens with no political affiliations whatsoever are targeted by rival groups. Attacks on buses carrying passengers apparently belonging to the Urdu-speaking community have grown increasingly frequent in Pashtun-dominated areas. Likewise, ordinary Pashtuns have been targeted in areas populated mostly by Urdu-speaking people. The question now remains, can we expect an early end to this madness? Things on the ground suggest that people are likely to suffer more in the coming months. Figures say more than 775 lives lost last year in target killing in this volatile region. Experts blame politics behind the carnage. Unable to share in a civilized manner the biggest financial pie that Karachi is, the coalition partners cannot afford to sever links between their politics and the extortion, land and drug mafias.
But the big story from Pakistan came in on Thursday when the Supreme Court upheld a High Court's order acquitting 5 of the 6 men accused of raping Mukhtar Mai, who emerged as the symbol of a movement for women's rights after she was gang raped on the orders of a tribal council way back in 2002. The Supreme Court, which had taken suo motu notice of the Lahore High Court's verdict of 2005 and began hearing the case, and ordered that the accused who had been acquitted should be immediately freed if they were not wanted in any other cases. Pakistan's Supreme Court may have upheld the acquittal of 5 of the 6 men accused of raping Mukhtar Mai, but Pakistan's most famous victim of abuse is not giving up yet. Mukhtar Mai, often referred to as the Rosa Parks of Pakistan, tweeted shortly after the verdict, "No court can weaken my resolve to stand against injustice." Her another tweet read, "Supreme Court's verdict proves that police dictate system in Pakistan." Civil society groups and individuals have expressed shock and disgust at the verdict. Editor of Pakistani e-magazine Adil Najab said the verdict is not just a blow for Mukhtar Mai, and the release of the accused could heighten the threats against her life, but it can and will be seen as another limp response to rape as a crime, a reflection of societal chauvinism and a blow to women's rights in the country. So Pakistan's Supreme Court has intervened in the case of Mukhtar Mai, a village woman gang raped almost 9 years ago in a case that has aroused international attention, but of no use. The case has had many twists and turns. Here is a look back to this tragic story, echoing the plight of women struggling for justice and dignity.
Pakistan is the sixth most populated country in the world. Cities in Pakistan are gradually moving towards liberalization. However, the rural areas remain a place of gender violence, despite a ban of some of the cruel customs. Honor killings, rapes, acid assaults, and forced marriages are the order of the day. Mirwala, a village in the Punjab province of Pakistan and home for Mukhtar Mai. Mai was gang raped in June 2002 on the orders of a panchayat as punishment after her younger brother was wrongly accused of having illicit relations with a woman from a rival clan. The boy was 11 years old at the time. But that's not all. The tale of disgrace is even more haunting as Mai was locked in her room and raped in front of the entire community. Influential people thought Mukhtar Mai would simply commit suicide, keeping with the tradition for the sake of honor. Mukhtar Mai thought differently. She rose to fight back the system. But Mirwala police did not take any action or any complaint under the fear of feudal laws that control and command the rural societies of Pakistan. A local Muslim cleric talked about Mai and soon Pakistan media highlighted the issue. Police then was compelled to register a case. Supreme Court took note of it and the Chief Justice acquitted all 4 men. The rapists did not remain imprisoned. They belonged to a superior tribal clan and was released soon. Whereas the victim was considered a low-class family woman. Mukhtar Mai was pressurized to give statements favoring the local police and other influential people. International media shed light to the Mukhtar Mai plight. In particular, Mr. Nicholas Kristof, an internationally renowned columnist from the New York Times. Mr. Kristof's articles played a pivotal role in bringing the crimes committed against her to the world attention. The Asian American Network Against Abuse of Human Rights collaborated with other women rights organizations, invited Mukhtar Mai to America. She attracted global sympathy and much international media coverage by shunning custom and speaking out about her ordeal. 14 men were originally accused in the case, but a lower court acquitted 8. In 2005, an appeals court acquitted 5 out of 6 remaining defendants, saying witness statements contradicted the prosecution case. The Supreme Court upheld that ruling on Thursday, that is on April 21, 2011, almost 10 years after the incident. It also upheld the life sentence handed down to the 6th man. Mai believes justice is being denied to her. Mukhtar Mai is disappointed. She said she would not request another review of the case.
मुझे बहुत अफसोस हुआ है सुप्रीम कोर्ट के फैसले पे, बहुत दुख हुआ है क्योंकि मुझे उम्मीद नहीं थी, खासकर जो ये फैसला आएगा। मुझे 100% उम्मीद थी जो मेरे हक में फैसला आएगा क्योंकि मैं सच पे हूँ। तो इन्होंने यही फैसला बरकरार रखना था, तो इन्होंने 5 साल मुझे जलील क्यों किया। और इनमें से जो है ना 2 का फैसला, 2 जजों का फैसला अलग है और 1 का अलग है। एक ने जो है ना उसमें लिखा है, उन्होंने कहा है आप पंचायत भी तस्लीम करते हो और वो 4 बंदे जो अंदर थे वो उनको भी तस्लीम करते हो, तो फिर आप लोग ये फैसला क्यों दे रहे हो।
Mai's decision to go public brought an international spotlight on the struggles of women in the South Asian country and earned her many plaudits. She was named Glamour magazine's Woman of the Year and now runs a school in her village of Mirwala.
And talking about India-Pakistan relations, India's main opposition party BJP on Saturday cautioned Indian Prime Minister Manmohan Singh against India holding talks with Pakistan in the wake of a top US Army commander's statement that the ISI was working in close coordination with terror groups. Referring to the comments of the chairman of US Joint Chiefs of Staff Mike Mullen that Pakistan's ISI is in league with terror groups, BJP said this only confirms that has been widely believed and suspected. But on the other hand, Pakistani Interior Minister Rahman Malik is optimistic about the way how Indo-Pak relations are moving forward through sports diplomacy. After cricket, it's now turn of hockey. Rahman Malik also warned India of Taliban threat. He said that the country's spy agency ISI was not involved in the 2008 Mumbai attacks. His comments came a week after Tawaffur Hussain Rana, the Pakistani Canadian accused in the Mumbai terror attack case, had claimed before a US court that he provided support to 2611 terrorists at the behest of the Pakistani government and the ISI.